Hi everyone, welcome to the Knitting Den. This is episode number 180 and today is Sunday, June the 26th, I think. My notes say Wednesday, June 22nd, but I didn't get a chance to record that day. So I think, calculating right, I think it's the 26th. My name's Denise and I'm also known as Knitting Den on Ravelry and Instagram. And this, if you're checking in for the first time, is Bindi, or Miss Bindi, or Little Miss Fluff, or Missy Moo, or whatever. I was going to say she answers to anything, but she actually doesn't answer to anything, so it doesn't matter what you call her. She always has to be sitting with Mama though. So, welcome, as I said, if you are watching for the first time, it's good to have you here. I'm glad you're checking out the podcast. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you come back and watch more. Join us again, and for everyone else that is joining me again, welcome back, guys. It's been, the week went so fast. In fact, it's well over a week and a half now, isn't it? I do want to say a huge thank you to everyone for all your lovely comments and squeals of delight. I think some of you had, as you said, to see me back on YouTube, and I'm glad you enjoyed the podcast. I had fun sitting down with you, and I know I'm going to continue having fun. As I said before in the previous podcast, not sure if it'll be on a weekly basis or every other week or just as and when I can. We'll just see how that goes. So before we get started, it's not morning, it is early afternoon. So, and this, you probably go in a minute, you're super hot. It's quite warm out here. I thought before we did get started, you want to sit comfy there. We would have a quick little walk up the driveway if you want. I think the last time you might have seen, the last time I did that, I think we might have had snow. So let's take a little walk up the driveway, and because it is, as I said, early afternoon, I've got something a little bit more refreshing than a cup of coffee. So when we get back, hopefully you'll join me. So I'm just holding this with my hand, and I thought we would have a little walk up the driveway. As you can see, summer's here. It's quite hot today. There's lovely blue sky, and everything's looking rather lush here. So I'll just take a slow wander, even though it's pretty hot. I'll try to keep this steady, as I'm just holding it with my hand. And as I get up to the top a little, I'll turn around and then we can follow the view. Look at the sky's just full of pretty clouds, and it's blue, the colours are gorgeous. So, if you haven't watched before, I'm in Colorado near Denver, just south of Denver. And this is my house, and I am blessed with gorgeous views. You'll see more of the views when I get to the top, and again, without making you dizzy, I'll turn around. We seem to be inundated with rabbits this year, but of course there's none out when I come up, when I take a walk. There was a gorgeous, handsome looking deer or buck out the back this morning. I might, if I remember, insert a little video of that after this too, so you can see. So I'm right getting to the top of the drive, and they look a million miles away, but if I zoom in, you might get to see the Rocky Mountains still have, it's quite shaky, some snow on them, which I think is a little, I was going to say unusual for this time of year, but it's only just started to warm up. So alright, zoom out, and I'll just go to the top, and I'll turn around. Now, the pine tree, I guess it'd be fun to look at. This is, and I can smell the pine, but look, these are starting to grow. This is how they start out. Look at them all. And if you have watched before, you'll know that eventually these obviously get huge and they will drop. I get lots of wonderful pine cones. Oh, I have a flowering bush here. I think this kind of attracts the butterflies. I don't have a lot of flowers or pretty shrubs around here. It really could do with some TLC in the shrubbery area. The trees over here are getting ginormous. And I have another pine tree there, but he never seems to get, it's so strange, and he doesn't get as many, look, you can't really see any pine. Baby pine cones growing. I think I saw one bunch. Oh, there's some back there, look. There's a few. But this tree, and maybe it's a baby, he doesn't get half as much as that, as this one, not this one, this one, and then this one. This guy drops a lot of pine cones. So, that's really all I wanted you to see, is to show you. Oh, I just saw, yeah, see? Now, this is the one that drops a lot of pine cones, and look, the difference. We've already got huge pine cones growing on this one. So that one over here is a little further behind, isn't it? In the growing season. So let me see. So there's some tiny ones still. Oh, here's some ones I could probably get to a bit better. So this tree, it's got the tiny little babies on, but look at, some of them are already, where is it? I'm too close, isn't I? There it is. They look like pineapples, don't they? With pine tree, pineapple. I'm trying to see, and there's some, I'll zoom in, not sure if you can see. I don't know if you see him. Oh no, there it is. There's one. And I think, yeah, he's opening up a little. So come the fall, this area, you know, on the ground, will have a lot of pine cones. Oh, I think we're a bit out of focus. There we go. So, gonna head back. I'll do one zoom in over the top of the house so you can see the beautiful pine trees all back there in the neighbourhood. And then I guess we'll take a quick walk back because it is getting rather hot, and I do not have sunscreen on. Now, I normally have a cup of coffee, but like I just said, it's a bit later in the afternoon, so we're going to head back to the porch, and I'm going to have something a little bit more refreshing because, well, it must be 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yes, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's early afternoon here, and I thought I'd have a glass of wine with you guys instead of a cup of coffee. And as you can see, I like ice in my wine. I find it very refreshing, and I like to keep it cold. So I thought I would tell you, I'm no wine connoisseur, but I thought I would tell you a little bit about this bottle of wine because I'm going to have to reach forward now, sorry. Oh, I'm too far away from the table. I bought this the other week with my friend when we went to the farmer's market, and it's called Avanti, so it's from Colorado. Obviously you're not going to be able to get it all over the place, but what I thought was sweet is their wine label. It's our wine has been inspected and approved by, and then it tells you their names. Gracie. And it says, if I can find it here, I thought it was nice, a portion of, I can't read it backwards, of these proceeds will be donated to the Colorado Italian Greyhound Rescue Fund. And I know my sweet, sweet friend Kimberly, she had 2 sweethearts, greyhounds. Don't know that I don't know the difference between Italian greyhounds and other kinds, but it just reminded me of her when I saw it as well. And we had a taster of this when we were at the market the other week, and it was really nice, quite refreshing. And as I said, the great thing about farmers markets is, you know, you buy local. So if you're sitting watching me right now and it is 5 o'clock or a little bit around that time and you want to get a glass of wine instead of coffee, by all means do so. And what we're going to do is get straight into some prizes, or the names. I've drawn names already, and I was super excited when I did this because I'd like to say I know a couple of these girls rather well. Never met them in person, but I just was excited when their names got pulled up with the number generator that I use. But because my iPad is rather slow, I did it ahead of time, and I just was going to tell you the winners' names. Now, I do have, if you're tuning in for the first time, I might as well show you what the person won, because I still kept them in my basket. So the first thing I drew was this sweet bag with the see-through, that's not a strip of white, that is actually see-through. Look, from Christine of Rainstorm Studios. And these girls, all the prizes I've got right now, have been donated after I got back from the Florida retreat. My brain's not into gear yet. 4 of the lovely ladies there who have Etsy stores donated prizes for the podcast. So the first one with the bag came out number 104, and that is Heidi, who is H. Fenenga or HF Enenga. I don't know how you see it, but if I remember and I edit this, it might be on the screen. So congratulations, Heidi, you've won the bag, so get in touch with me. And before I go on, there was 108, just as of this morning, comments. So again, huge thank you. A lot of you, I think, were just saying hello and that you were super excited to see me back. And of course, everyone that commented is in the drawing, and few of you had mentioned how, you know, you would love to win one of these lovely prizes. Who wouldn't? So number 2, this was what kind of had me squealing, and I know I'm going to be able to hear a squeal from here. This is for the rainbow yarn. That is right down here, from the lovely Kay of Bead Sisters bags, but her yarn she's calling Blueberry Chick Yarns yarn. And that number was number 5, yeah. And that was Dawn, who is Knitting Wolf. Yeah, I think I can hear you squeal. So congratulations, Dawn. Get in touch with me. I might have your address somewhere, but I'd like you to get in touch with me first. The next number, I kind of squealed a little myself too, because this girl is is a dear friend. Just, again, never met in person. One day we will. But for the sock blank, which is this gorgeous yarn, I'm tempted to get one of these. As I said before, I don't know if I'd fancy knitting with the sock blank, but I love the colours that Jennifer's done in this. And this is from Jennifer, who is Daisy Knits on Etsy. Dewy sock. And the winner of that was Here's Mom 25, Jamie. Yes, I'm squealing. So congratulations, girl. Get in touch with me. I think I've got your address, but I'd like to hear from you. And the last one was more yarn, and that was Kimberly's yarn, Sock Bunny herself, which is this gorgeous, marvellous Marvellous colourway. And the winner of that was number 10. And that is Mary, who is Mary Reads a Lot. Congratulations, Mary. So, all of you girls, contact me, tell me your address, or let me know that you've seen these prizes, or you've seen that you won. And a little bit of news about how this is going to work if I do drawings giveaways in the future. I am going to say that you have 30 days to contact me. I used to say if I don't hear from you within a week or two, I'll contact you. But I think if you're going to participate and leave comments or enter these giveaways, you should at least be watching again. I'm not expecting you to watch every single episode, but you should at least tune in again to see if you've won. And if you haven't, and you haven't contacted me in 30 days, then you haven't watched the podcast in over a month. And I think it only fair that I would draw again, and someone that does watch on a regular basis might, have a chance to win. So that's my new rule. You must get in touch with me, and you must get in touch with me within the 30 days, or this time next month I'm going to draw for anything that didn't get claimed. Now, with that said, I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to have another giveaway, and I'm going to go back to having a giveaway every month for a Kiki Boo bag. I'm back to sewing. Some of you have already seen that. I've been adding a few bags to the Etsy store, but what I'd like to do is offer a prize once a month, and I've written this down so I don't forget how to explain it. I'm going to open a thread this time, not just the episode thread. See if she wants to go in a minute. I'll open a thread for a Kiki Boo monthly giveaway bag, and you need to go in there, and if you want to be entered into the drawing, I am going to ask a question, but it's a very simple question. I'd like to know what type of bag that you prefer or that you use the most, and why. So, what kind of project bag, knitting bag? Is it a zippered one, a drawstring? Why do you use it the most? Or if you don't use any bags, what would you like to use? What kind of style bag would you prefer? And when I draw once a month, and I think I'll draw this one starting 1st of July, and then I'll try to do it once, at the beginning of every month. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to have a bag to show you to give away. The winner is going to get to choose what kind of bag they want, and what kind of bag they want me to sew. So you're going to have a choice between a drawstring bag, a medium wedge bag with a zip, or I didn't bring one with me, but I'm going to start making a crossover bag, which is really handy if you are walking around farmers markets or theme parks and you take your knitting. I like the idea, and I've used one before, of a bag that you just cross over your shoulders so your hands are free, but your bag's, everything in your bag is easily reachable. I'm going to start doing them. I've done them before. I'm going to give you a choice of colour, what colour bag you want, or if it's not a specific colour, I think what I might do, just to keep it from being absolutely anything off the top of your head, I'm going to give you a choice of 3 fabrics that I have in stock or stash right then and there. So that will be coming up. I'm going to open the thread after this episode, but I think the first drawing I'm going to do is 1st of July, or whichever day I podcast after the 1st of July. So we've still got a couple of weeks before that to get your comment in. So I think that's going to be nice, and it's going to be fun. And as I said, I'm back into sewing. I'll show you some things I've been sewing later, right at the end of the podcast, if you want to hang out and look at them. Moving on, let's see. We'll go into, before we get into our usual finished objects, whips and stuff like that, what I'm wearing, which I'm going to title the show. Now, as you can tell, I'm not wearing anything that I've knitted. And I'm not talking about what I'm wearing, necklace, what I'm wearing, my top. I'm not talking about the fact that I'm wearing my hair in a ponytail and you can see all my grey. I'm not talking about that either. What I'm wearing is a great big smile. Yes. And there's a huge reason for that too. I'm wearing a big smile because I booked a flight home this week. So I'm going home again for a visit in September. Squee! And I can't wait. And you might get sick hearing me talk about it, but I am beyond excited. I think I'm going to let little Missy Moo in the house because it is warm out here and she likes to sit on the vent. So bear with me a second. Bindi, do you want to go in, sweetie pie? Come on, let's go in. Go on your vent. Go on. Go on your vent. Good girl. So, that is what I'm wearing. I thought that would be fun if I announced it like that. I'm so sorry, I just kicked the camera. September the 13th is when I fly home, which is a Tuesday, but I don't get into England until the following day. Because of the time difference, there's 7 hours ahead of us there. So it's going to be early morning Wednesday, but middle of the night still Tuesday, or early Wednesday still, for everyone back here. And the sweet part about this is the next day after that, after the 14th, is the 15th, obviously, but that is my mum's birthday. And it's going to be nice. I didn't think I would need to go, and don't get me wrong, her birthday, or, you know, it's the first since she's gone, Christmas, the first Christmas, all that. This is just me personally, but I don't find those days, at least I didn't find those days when my dad died, any more difficult than any other day. So I'm okay that it's our birthday. I just think it would be nice though that I'm going to be with my siblings. It just turned out that way. I didn't plan it to say, hey, I'll deliberately come because it's my mum's birthday. I am leaving it until September, and gosh, I look like I'm looking red because I'm having a bit of a hot flush. I'm leaving it until September, so I'll make sure, hopefully, fingers crossed, hubby is back on his feet. I'd like to say, you know, walking okay right now. He's not able to put weight on this broken leg, and I'll just say that it's a broken leg, broken knee if you're watching for the first time. I'm hoping by September that is going to be the case, and I can, you know, feel okay about leaving. Even if he wasn't walking and he is still in the house, I have a wonderful 15-year-old who will be nearly 16, and I know she's there to help, you know, get lunch and stuff for him. I mean, he's capable of getting up and doing other things. So I'm hoping maybe our life is back to normal. He's back at work. Fingers crossed. If not, I still feel okay about going home for a visit because they'll be okay together. All right. With all of that said, that's basically what's been going on this past week. I don't have a title for that really, but a little chat in the beginning. Nothing else to report like that I've been doing during the week. I hope you've all had a fabulous week. You know, there's the thread. I open the thread for the episode every week or every episode. So by all means, pop in there. It's the Ravelry group. It's the Knitting Den podcast group. I love when you pop in there like you've done this past week and just say hi. Tell me what you've been up to this week. And now that I didn't respond to anyone in that thread because I was using it as a giveaway thread and I didn't want to add my, you know, extra comments in. So this week, if you are to say a message in there, I usually like to get in there and reply to everyone. So I'll try my best to do that. So moving on, there is no finished objects. To be honest, I haven't knit as much as I wanted to because I've been kind of crazy sewing. So it's all good. I love sewing. I just haven't knit as much as I would have wanted to show you some progress on things. But I just got a piece of ice. So the things I've brought really are the same things I have been the same things I showed you, I should say. Works in progress. And I fetched, this is the easiest way right now, I'm carrying everything. I fetched my stuff out in my tote that I made last year. And as I said, I'm back to sewing, and I'm going to start trying to sew these, because I love this bag. I can get everything in, I can even, and these are my socks, I even just shove in my little squishy bags with the socks, and I've got 2 or 3 projects in. Just a fabulous style. So, with that said, I'm going to show you this again, and I don't want to keep bringing up the picture to show you on, I've fetched out my Surface Pro here instead of my iPad, but I don't want to keep showing you the picture because I think it just takes a bit too long. So the reason I'm showing you this, I didn't do much on it, and it looks a scraggy mess, doesn't it? But I did finish the second side, so the front is totally off the needles. You know, once it's blocked, it's going to look really nice, so it's going to go like this. And I haven't picked up the back stitches. The back is exactly the same, but I haven't picked them up because when I do, I want to really focus on it and just do it all without picking anything else up. Because what I find is when I start decreasing things and put it down and don't pick up for a few nights or a few days, I lose track of where I'm at. So this is the Kingston tank. It's in I can show you a picture of this actually, because it's in this current issue of Interweave Knits, and it's a really nice tank, as you can see, or I don't know what I would do. Yeah, tank top. I'd call that a tank top in England. Sometimes I confuse myself. And so here's the picture in the magazine right now. And it's got this really nice pattern on the sides, and as you can see, the V-neck at the front is exactly the same as the back. So I think what I'd like to do is focus on that in the next week and have it off the needles perhaps next time I podcast. I'm knitting it with Rowan cotton, 4-ply cotton, and I'm not sure if I've transferred the labels in here. Doesn't look like I have, but that's no surprise. I chop and change my bags all the time, and I forget to transfer the labels over. But this is Rowan cotton, 4-ply cotton. It was in my stash, and it's getting all tangled up with the other thing in here. Yeah, there you go. So it's like a soft, it's always blurry, soft tangerine colour I would want to call that. Soft tangerine. It's quite true to colour here. Yeah. So I think I need to focus on it because I really would like it off the needles and wear it. It's perfect weather for wearing it. So as I said, finished the back off, but the front I should say, but not much else knitted on it. And I don't have that much knitting, to be honest. I haven't done much on the second sock. This is the Opal socks I was working on in my little Kiki Boo Poo bag. I did finish completely turning the heel, and I finished the decreases, so I should pick this up and get knitting on it, and I could have another finished object by next week. This is just a plain vanilla sock, 64 stitches I use, top down as you can see, and I always use a size 1 US. Never think to write down what that is in millimeters. I'm not even going to guess in case I get everyone confused. So again, not knit much on it, but I'm now aware I can knit on it without having to count or without having to think about am I on a decrease row or not. So just a plain vanilla sock, 64 stitches, and like I've done before, when I do get to the heel I use a Eye of Partridge, and usually I'll follow the Hermione's Everyday sock pattern for turning the heel, but I didn't do it exact because her heel is modified and it's got like 3 little garter stitches on either side. So I think I just went ahead and did an Eye of Partridge. I can't say that fast. So that's the other thing I should knit on, and didn't do much at all. And let's see, the other thing, oh, what I was knitting on, which is why I didn't get much of the orange top done, it's a new cast on. So I'm about ready to tell you all about that, and it's wonderful. I'm loving it. Here it is. I cast this on. Get off, ant. Seriously. Not even a fly. I can swat away. It's a huge big ant crawling up my leg. The things I do for you guys, sitting out here. Go away. No, can't get him. Try to squish him. He's quite large. Okay, let me put this away. I mean the bag down, I should say. So last week I saw this pattern on Ravelry, and it's a free pattern, and it's called Cancun. Cancun Boxy Lace Top, I think. And it's a very short little top, very straightforward design. It's just knit straight up and then cast off at the top, and then sew the sides and the shoulders. But this is what it looks like. And I think I've got it the wrong way. It's got lots of different patterns on it. I really feel like I want to show you this one. And if it's going to take too long, I'll just edit out until I get to the picture. Because it would be nice to show you this, since it's a brand new cast on. If I can find it. So, patterns. Cancun. I just typed that in, but it's Cancun Boxy Top. Oh, would help if I Cancun. Come on, shouldn't be going as slow as the iPad does. Here we go. Cancun Boxy Lace Top. It's by Erin Kate Archer, and I'll just click on this and then I can end up. It's enlarged enough, I think. I'm going to, I love this Surface Pro. It's a tablet as well, so see if I can tip it up. There we go. So this is it. She's got this on very short, and I'm not going to do it that short. If I have another ant on my foot, I'm going to squeal. I don't, but if I like it. I'm not going to do it that short. There's 712 projects, and what caught my eye was, let's see if I can find one, maybe just on a, I think some of them had them on like a mannequin. I'm going to do it longer. There's no, I would not wear here. I wouldn't wear a top. So this I have, this is more, I'm aiming for something without the glare. You can see all the porch glare, but how do I get that to not glare for you? Maybe there. I'm going to aim for something a bit longer like that. So I'm just really, I'm kind of eyeballing it now because I've passed the cast off portion, and I'm just doing extra, and I'm deciding once. Let me see if I can hold it up. So you knit garter rib, then you knit an eyelet, which I kind of messed up a little bit because I forgot to do the purl, yeah, the, you know, the little edge here before I went into garter stitch. Drop stitch, then you knit 4 rows. This is a pattern, knit 4 rows. So here's a pattern, 4 rows. Drop stitch, and then I think it's this one. In the pattern, this drop stitch is, believe it or not, the end. It looks super small, but I guess when you block it out. At the top of their pattern, they do another, she does another drop stitch panel. So across here, you've got like a double drop stitch. I've ignored that, and I've then gone to try to repeat the pattern sequence a little bit, but not exactly. And I'm just going to have to keep going because I want it much longer than that. I want mine to be almost like tunic-like, you know, coming not past my behind, but much lower than my waist. And it is a super fun knit, because, you know, it's a bit like knitting a stripy sock. You know, once the next stripe's coming around, it's quick and you want to knit it. Same thing with this. It doesn't take long to do a little pattern. Then you knit 4 rows of garter, you know, yeah, garter stitch, just knit, knit, knit. And then you want to move on to the next one. So I'm really enjoying that. Again, probably I would have got this finished had I been knitting more than sewing this week. This is the yarn I'm using, Corsica. I got this from the local yarn store with something else in mind a few months back, but decided not to knit it. Don't ask me what it was, because I can't remember right now. But I thought it would be ideal. When I saw the pattern, I thought, ooh, got to use this. And this is 90% cotton, 10% cashmere. And believe me, you can tell this is super soft cotton, and I definitely will be knitting more. I've got to think of something else I can knit and get this in another colour, because it's really nice yarn. It's called Corsica from Barocco. This apparently is the Shark Eye colourway. So I think I've got five skeins. What I'm using now is the second skein. So I think when I'm halfway through this, I'll cast off, because then I'll know I've got 2.5 for the other side, and we'll see what that turns out like. But that is my new cast on, one of my works in progress, Cancun boxy lace top. I'm loving it. Right, I'll just put that back on there, get it out of the way. Okay, what else have we got? To be honest, that's all I've got with the knitting with me. I'm going to move on to, I was going to talk about show and tell. Even though I've got nothing to show you, I was going to show you something I put in my favourites this week. I was thinking that, you know, if I've got no yarn to show, that would be a fun thing to do, is show you something I caught my eye on Ravelry and I put in my queue or in my favourites. But I don't think I need to do that, because I think this is going to run on long enough without having to show, you know, talk about things like that. I was thinking of doing that if I didn't have anything else to talk about, but that's never going to happen, is it? I've always got plenty to talk about. So I won't go into the details on that. And I've got no yarn or, you know, stash enhancements, all of that kind of thing to chat about and show and tell. So moving on, we do have a Cal section, knit-alongs. I'm not going to host that many. I know there's lots of other podcasters do. I like to, and I can join in with theirs, and a lot of the time I don't even get the chance to do that. But I am going to host my yearly Christmas in July knit-along. I think everyone seems to have fun with that. And I think, like last year, I'm going to do that, and I think I'll try to stick with my Pinktober knit-along. And that's the only two that I'm kind of planning. So, for those that have not done this or not watched the podcast before, Christmas in July is, we start on July 1st knitting any Christmas gifts. And what I'm going to say, and I think I've said this in the past, is even if you want to knit yourself something, you're going to be able to join in the knit along and, you know, try to win prizes, because I'll always have a few prizes. If you're not planning on gift knitting for others, even just knitting yourself something, it can be a gift to you. You can knit something and join it in, you know, the knit along, and as I said, for prizes. A lot of us, a lot of you girls, because I don't think I really knit gifts last year, but I know a lot of you do gift knitting, and you do like to get a start. It's good encouragement to get started in July. So I run the knit along just through the month of July, from the 1st to the 31st, with some prizes thrown in for fun. And I also tie that in with, if I am doing bags, and I am getting around to doing bags again, I kind of do a Christmas in July sale on my Etsy store. So usually a prize would be coming from that as well, like a Christmas bag or Christmas stitch markers and things like that. So that's coming up on July 1st. I think I do want to try to knit some gifts this year. I'm not saying who they'll be for, and when I do show you some current works in progress or things like that, I'm not going to say if they are gifts or not at that time, because then, you know, anyone watching, if I'm knitting a gift for someone who I know is watching, I feel like they might have a clue as like, oh, I bet that's for me, or I'm not sure. I just don't kind of want to give the game away, so to speak. So that is the knit along. I think that's all I've got to say about that right now. Moving on, I don't have, and this again, this is just going to be all chatter, goodness, but that's okay. Moving on, we have book talk, and again, I haven't read much this week because of all the sewing. Oh, hang on, itchy nose. But I did want to say it because I talked about book talk last week. Talked about things I was reading and getting back into the Debbie McCormer series. I'm trying to read some on Blossom Street. I started it this week, but not really got into it much at all. I can get into it. I just only read about 3 chapters. So I'm going to try and stick with that and read it. But I did want to say thank you to Barbara. I just said Barbara. I'm not going to say, you'll know who you are. But you did comment in the group from last week, and you mentioned an author, a new author called Sadie Hartwell. She's got a knitting mystery book out. I think she's only got this one right now, and it's Yarned. It's called Yarned and Dangerous. So I've written that down because that's something I think actually my library's got this in. So that's definitely something I would pick up in the not too distant future, because as I said, I like reading knitting fiction, and especially there's a lot of knitting mystery series out there. So thanks for that. And that then led me to, when I was checking out Amazon, led me to a authoress, whichever you want to say, called Betty Hechtman. Never heard of her, but she has, I'm not sure if there's 4 books in this series. She's got a Yarn Retreat mystery series, which I thought would be fun. I mean, we all like yarn retreats or knitting retreats. So I've written that down as well, and I'd like to try to get to hers. I did want to mention, if you've never heard of this before, this is a really super helpful site. I came across this accidentally a few weeks ago, and it's a website called bookseriesinorder.com, and it's exactly what it says. If you want to see what series, I don't know how to say that, how the books are, like what's number 1 in that series, number 2, number 3. Because I've found if I'm looking on Amazon for certain books and I come across one, it'll not tell me what number, and I've got to then go find, I've got to Google it and see which one was the first one in the series, or I've got to go to the author's page on Amazon. But, hold on. There's something, my throat's getting dry, but I don't have any water with me, so I gotta wash it down with a bit of wine. Anyway, getting dry. I do know that in this Betty Hechtman's Yarn Retreat series, I made a note, and the first one is called Yarn to Go. So that is a good website if you want to have a look at it. Bookseriesinorder.com. And again, looking at Amazon at these books, it also came up with, and this has got nothing to do with knitting, but it's something I wrote down because I really would like to, I think this would be a fun series to read. And the author she was called Krista Davis, and I went to this bookseriesinorder.com, and she's on there, and she's got a Domestic Diva series, and I think it's a mystery as well. It's just not with yarn. Domestic Diva Mysteries. The first one is called The Diva Runs Out of Time, Thyme, like the herb. So that's the first one. Excuse me. And I know my library has that one as well. When I get the time, I'm going to pick that up. Don't know which one to read first, to be honest. Oh. That is, my throat's rather dry. The reason I like to put ice in my wine is because it waters it down. So it's a refreshing drink, but it doesn't you know, doesn't feel like I'm drinking too much. So the ice is melted, but it still tastes good. All right, that was the books. I had wondered about doing a read along like I've done before. But I don't know whether to suggest it or whether to just read, and when I get a chance to read, tell you what I'm reading, because that's the thing. If I suggest a read along, we all read a book, then we're kind of committed to it. And with it being the summer, I know I like to read a lot when I can, and it's a good time for reading, but sometimes our life... Okay. I hope this doesn't start stopping and starting again, because it just seems to run out at 30 odd minutes and then stop. So I was talking about read-alongs. Life gets busy. It sounded like a good idea, but I'm not going to do that right now. Just if you're reading things, I think I might open up a book thread, or, you know, instead of just commenting in the weekly thread or the episode thread, I think I might make a thread all about books, so we can go in there and chat, and you can tell me what you're reading, or I can make a note and tell you what I'm reading and things like that, rather than actually do a specific read along, like book club, let's all read the same book at the same time. I think that would be okay. Moving on, see, because then I get a bit nervous there. This clicked off like last week, but for some reason it's only going to let me, it comes up and then shows me 3 minutes 34 seconds, and I don't know why. I'll just have to see how it goes. I'll have to slice and splice and edit and put it all together if that's the case. So with that, the only other couple of things, and I didn't bring out what I wanted to chat about, so I might just wrap this up pretty quickly before going into girly chatter. In the kitchen, I did post a picture last week on Instagram, and I just thought, well, I'll chat about this. I made for the very first time cheese and broccoli soup. A soup I thought I never really liked. So I've never ever made it before. I've never ordered it in a restaurant. I must have had it at some point somewhere and thought, don't like it. But broccoli is the only vegetable Kristen likes. That's my daughter. And she mentioned soup. I love making soups, especially in the fall, cold weather and all that, but it doesn't have to be. Oh my gosh, look at that huge, gorgeous cloud. I'm going to see if you can see this. Looks fabulous. Hold on. Hopefully it will not. Oh, I know. I'm going to have to flip it round. Look at that huge, white, fluffy cloud. Is that just... Look at that. That is enormous. It looks brighter to me than I'm seeing on the camera too, because the sun's shining on it. But isn't that crazy? Oh, it's like one of those thick, thick clouds that you think you can just bounce on. I love watching clouds. I won't bore you with that though. I just had to share that with you though. So, yeah, I made cheese and broccoli soup, and it wasn't the healthiest of soups because I didn't pick a healthy recipe, but oh my gosh, I made another batch since. In fact, I might have some later for dinner tonight with garlic bread. It was the simplest recipe. You don't even need the recipe. After I'd looked to see what the ingredients were, I just play it by ear. And all I did was saute a little bit of onion in my pan and added broccoli. I just did the fresh broccoli, chopped up into teeny tiny pieces, and then once I sauteed that for a couple of minutes, really, you don't need to even cook it. I just sauteed in butter, so there's a little butter in the creamy soup. Then I just poured in, I want to say 4 cups, I just eyeball it really, based on the size of my pan, chicken stock. And then once that's kind of heated up, this is the unhealthy part, I just used Velveeta. And if you're in England, I know you can't get this, because my sister's tried to get it, and she wanted to try and find it, excuse me, after she'd been here, because we love making queso with it, which is like a cheesy dip with the spicy tomatoes mixed in. So I know you can't get it in England. It's processed cheese and it comes in a block like a brick. Anyway, you just kind of sliced it up or cubed it, throw it in with the hot chicken stock, it melts, and then you have cheese soup. And of course you've got the broccoli in, so it's cheese and broccoli soup, and the only other thing I think was added in there was a little bit of garlic powder, and it was delicious. Now, the one last thing I do is, and that's what the recipe did say, is you do thicken it. So you just thicken it with cornstarch, corn flour, with a bit of water and that. I'm not going to put up a recipe anyway. If you want specifics, just Google a recipe. You'll find lots of them. But I kind of just thickened it, and if it doesn't thicken with a couple of teaspoons or a tablespoon of cornstarch, I do it again, and then thicken it, again, and I can just tell by my eyes. It's thick enough for me, and the texture's really good. So that was super fabulous, and with some garlic bread, it was a meal. It's so filling. Probably because of the cheese, I don't know. It's just a creamy, thick, cheesy, filling soup, and it was really nice. So that was what was going on in the kitchen this week. I was going to go into, I got to try and do this because this was next week. I'll have to try and do this. I wanted to talk about monthly subscriptions. And I know in the past, the most recent one I'd done was that Stitch Fix, where you can order clothes. And I have a referral number. I think I'll put it below if you want to try it. I know a couple of you have tried it. And it costs $20 for a month. Well, a monthly, every time they send you something. You pay $20. But if you keep any of the items, you usually get 5 items. Watching a wasp now. If you keep an item, that $20 will come off that price. So if you keep one item out of, the box that you were sent, you're not really paying anything for shipping or fee. Please go away. You're not paying anything because all you're doing is that $20 goes towards the top or skirt or dress, whatever you keep. So the only reason you would lose that $20 is if you... I know what the problem is. My phone is too full. I just deleted some old videos, so I need to make sure everything's deleted so I've got enough storage space when I do this next week. So yeah, we were talking about subscriptions and the Stitch Fix one. I stopped ordering them for a little while, but I got an email from them the other day, and they sent an email, I guess this is to just encourage you to buy again. They waived my $20 fee, so I won't even have to pay anything should I not keep anything. Plus I also have a credit from when somebody else used my referral code and ordered and kept some items. So thank you for that if you use my referral code. And if you still want to use the referral code, and it's I'll try to put it in the group as well, but it's usually I'll try to put it in the YouTube notes. Go ahead, use it, and personal message me, because if for some reason you don't keep anything, I am more than happy to give you the referral, the credit that I got. If I don't want you losing, ordering stuff and then going, there's nothing I liked, and then you're out $20 and I'm in $20, I'm more than happy to reimburse you that. So I think that's a fun way of, there's no risk. If you want to try it, I get a referral fee if you, I get $25 if you were to order stuff. You pay $20. If you send everything back and you lose your $20, please let me know. I would send you that referral money so you're not out of pocket. It's the least I could do. If you do keep something and you pay the rest of it because you got your $20 off, then I'll keep my referral fee, if that's all right. So Stitch Fix is a subscription I was doing, and you can opt to do it every month, every 3 months, or just order one when you want and not have it on a regular basis, which I think was fun. But the other thing I wanted to bring out, and I forgot, is I'm sure a lot of you have heard of BarkBox. It's for your pets. It's a monthly subscription. I kept wanting to, because I wasn't doing Stitch Fix, I wanted to do that for the puppies. And when I was looking at doing that the other week, I came across something similar, and it was called Pet Treater, pettreater.com. And compared to BarkBox, their box was rather large. I was going to bring it out. I'll bring it out the next time and maybe chat about that in Girly Chatter. It was $25, and to be honest, I've actually cancelled. I've only done it once because there were so many toys in there, and there's treats for the dogs. I don't really need another $25 worth of dog toys and everything next month, so I've only done it the once. You can cancel any time, but it was super fun because when it got delivered, you know, Kristen had fun opening it, and it was like Christmas for the dogs. So I'll try to bring that the next time I record. I'll show you if you're curious. I know lots of you have the you know, fur babies, and I'll show you what fun things we got. And, you know, Bindi can stay out here with me and help me open it. They don't do cat ones right now. I've seen that on there, frequently asked questions. So thought that would be fun to talk about in the future. I was also going to talk about, but I didn't write notes down. Somebody asked me about my Fitbit. Yes, this is a Fitbit. I used to have the little Fitbit One, or wherever it was called, a little mini thing that you could clip on your belt, or, you know, your strap. I used to have it actually clipped to my bra strap at one point. It simply was a pedometer where it counts your steps and everything. I upgraded, well over a year ago, or last year, to this Fitbit Charge HR, because it's got a heart rate monitor on it. You're not really going to be able to see anything. It's going to be upside down, should I show you it anyway, but it'll have a little thing for steps and how many. Then it'll tell you in mileage what that is. It's probably getting a glare. It'll tell you how many stairs you've climbed, or how many sets of stairs, not each individual stairs. It'll tell you your heart rate, tells you how many calories you've burned. So I do like it, and you can download the Fitbit app to your phone, and you can check in, you know, look online and see what you've done over the past day, week, whatever. And when you do use the app, you can't see it on your phone, on your phone. You can't see it on the Fitbit where you wear, but this one, when you do use your app, it's got a sleep mode. It tells you how well you slept. It tells you when you were restless, for how many minutes that might be, how many times a night. It's really interesting. And I've not looked at that for a long time. I just wear this out of habit. I do sometimes still get a bit of a shock when I hit 10,000 steps because it vibrates, and sometimes I don't know I'm anywhere near 10,000. So, but I like it, and I just know that I did say I'd mention it, so that, you know, when you messaged me, I didn't make a note of your name, but I wasn't going to mention your name anyway. It's just, again, if you use a Fitbit and you want to chat about that in this episode and let people know what you use and what you like about it, you know, just share with us all. It's just something fun to chat about. I think I'm going to wrap that up, guys. I feel like this was just a whole big chat fest and not much knitting, but what am I to do? I've only got 3 things on the go. I'm not being crazy. I'm not having castonitis or anything like that. But the clouds, oh, it's so fluffy, but it's moved further away. I'm thinking, what am I going to do next? Yeah, I'm not going to wrap it up yet. I am, but before I wrap it up totally, I will show you some of the bags, and then you can see, should you win a Kikiboo bag, you'll have a little idea of, you know, what you might want. Hold on. Oh, this is so watered down now, but it's still nice. So before I leave, if you are not interested in any of the bags, you don't use project bags, or you've got plenty of project bags, then, you know, I'll just say thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. If you do want to stick around for another minute, then I'll just show you what's gone in my shop this week and what I'm working on. Mainly I've been putting in the project bags, and I've changed my drawstring bag size. I need to cut a thread. I do have some smaller sizes, but the majority of the drawstring ones I'm going to make is this size. It's a little wider. It's it's more like a 12 by 12, obviously more like a 9 inches high by the time you've got your gusset. So not just for socks, it's a nice size where, you know, you'll be able to put your shawl in. To be honest, I've still got this here with me. It's amazing because, you know, the way our knitting scrunches up when we're just doing soft cotton or fingering weight yarn, shawls or anything like that, it's surprising the amount of space in here, because that will easily go in this size bag as well, and you've still got all this space. So not just a sock sack, as I call it, but ideal for any of these you know, not heavy worsted weight projects or tanks, your socks, I want to see what else, even toys and things, anything with fingering weight, especially shawls. I can easily throw them in here. So I'm doing a lot of these, fun to make, fun to use. I'll throw that away. So you'll find that in my shop, Kiki Boo bags. So I've got this one with the cute market scene. This is a vintage market. I think it's Riley Blake. Look, homemade jam. Oh, I'd love to do that again. Make my own jams and things. So that's gone in, and I've got a yeah, I wanted to say an L bag with some thin chevron fabric. This is a cute one. I did the spiders, and these, I mean, that is as green as it's very neon polka dots. And the fun thing is, certain ways you hold it up, you can see the polka dots. It's almost like it's glow in the dark. So you can see the fun polka dots through the white there. Here's another one, hasn't got the drawstring yet. Sheepsies, as I call them. Then I have a Parisian kind of theme with a little bistro set. And then these are different sizes. I did intend this to be the normal size, but I think it was measure twice, cut once, but I didn't, so I think I was like an inch or so off. So it's not exactly, I will have the sizes in my shop, but I got this fabric the other day. I saw it and I loved the colours, and I just loved these octopus, and then the big whale, and then what do you call them, narwhal? I can never say that right. So I just love that. It's such a fun aqua blue, summertimey colours. I loved it. So that's slightly, not exactly the same size. And then these two are the original size drawstrings I used to do, which is, I'm calling it now a mini sock sack, which I would really just do my socks in. It's the perfect size for doing that. So fun camper fabric, I love that one as well. And then this one was a mini one, just a mini sock sack with some fat quarters, they called it. It's like a quarter of a yard of fabric. So if you were to win a bag, you can, usually it's going to be this size, the 12, you know, the wider sock sack. You can pick a drawstring, and I'll show you maybe 3 fabrics you can pick from, and if not, you can pick a zippered bag. I don't even know what size this is, but I'll probably offer at least a medium, so you end up, I've lost, because I haven't sewn for a while, I don't know if this is my small or if it was a medium, or I'll have to measure. But you can choose from this. I do not have the crossover with me, but I'm going to offer that as an option because I think it's a fun style, especially in the summer when, as I said, you're wandering around perhaps markets or fairs and summer fairs and things like that. It's not just for your knitting, you know, your purse and your keys and everything, or your phone or your cameras can go in it, and it's just hands-free. I want to get into making some of them. The other thing I'll be making, and this just because it's black on the top, I see fluff. I'm going to be making some larger totes. Again, same reason, because of the summer, and because, like I just showed you, I use this a lot, especially when I'm going out, you know, popping up to my friends for our knitting morning. I just shove everything in here, my keys, my phone, and whatever knitting I've got, and my magazines. I'm going to start doing a few of them, and I am hoping to offer personalised like this. You could either have an initial or you could have your name on it. I'll be offering them in the shop soon, and they will have, and it's not in here yet, I've got it in here to finish off, you will have you know, pockets, contrasting pockets inside, and it'll probably have the magnetic closure like I used to do. So I've got that going. That's quite a large size. Then I did this the other day, which is a smaller size, mainly more for just, I would say, just your knitting project and your phone or your keys. I didn't put pockets in this one, and I'm thinking of either sewing some flower on it or making these little flowers like a brooch, so you could take it off if you don't want it, or you could put it on because I think it's cute, or you could put it wherever you want. So there's always, once I get sewing, I get so many ideas and I get excited about doing it. It's just trying to find the time to. Mainly, just for the fun of it, I do like to give stuff away, so I'm going to give that, as I said, give you an option. Once a month I'll draw a winner and you get to pick what you want. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Hope you've enjoyed sitting down with me today, and I hope you come back soon and join me in the Knitting Den. Bye guys.